All right, let's do this. Yes,
Doing it today.
we got it. That was a world for you, Brandon James. You can look him up on YouTube and Spotify.
Perfect.
Yeah, welcome to Rise and Inspire, everybody.
Here we are. My name is Darcy Burke. For those of you that don't know me, you can find me on Instagram as darcyelizabeth.co and on Facebook as Darcy Elizabeth. You can also always comment on this video and we will get back to you as well.
Absolutely. And I'm Kelly_Patricia. That's on Instagram. And then on Facebook, it's just Kelly Patricia. EY. EY people.
Same here. Yeah, Kelly, you should change your name next time on the video so it spells it out.
I know. Yeah, we need to.
Next time, let's do that.
We should do a lot of things.
I'm feeling good today.
Feeling good. Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm not going to sing it, but I'll dance to it in my head.
Yeah, don't sing it. We're going to take it down.
I'm not going to.
So you want to know what else I'm really excited about? That is sweater weather.
Oh,
sweater dresses. You can bring the sweater dresses back out.
I know. And the vests and all the warm, comfy, like I can keep my leggings out and it's not weird if I'm not wearing pants.
It's like the one time you get away with wearing like yoga pants.
I know.
It's
I do it, but
yeah, so that's one way of like embracing the colder weather because I'm not a huge fan of snow. So that's my way of embracing it, that it's a change in wardrobe, change your closet out.
Absolutely. And it's going to happen. So you might as well make the best of it, right? You went out for a second.
Oh, I'm back.
Okay. I hear you. You now.
Okay. So can you hear me good?
I can hear you good.
Okay. So today's topic is all about binge eating. Put that food in my mouth. This topic actually hits home a lot
for both of us.
And I feel that a lot of people might think that we don't necessarily deal with binge eating because, we're always posting about our food and everything.
Right. Because we're health and fitness coaches. But this is not something that we're perfect on, and we work at this every day. And that's why we like to come on and talk to you guys about it, because we're a work in progress and we like to give out our tips and tricks to help everyone else get through it.
Yeah, because you know what? At the end of the day, there's times where you turn to food as your comfort and you end up just
binging.
So do we want to talk a little bit about it and then some tips that I have learned? And I've actually learned a few new ones lately that have been like a total game changer that I'm excited to share.
Yeah, that's absolutely. I think with binging, like, why do I do it? I've been really thinking about my whys lately, you know what I mean? With like nutrition and just like when I accomplish or do anything, tackle anything in life, I'm always thinking like, what is my why? Right. Because I feel like that's how you can help yourself get through whatever comes at you. So I notice when I binge, it's because I'm restricting myself. You know what I mean? Like mentally, in my head, I feel like I'm telling myself I shouldn't eat these all the time. So that's when in my head I get, well, when I do have them, I need to eat the whole box and then some because I'll never get any more ever again. So I feel like where a lot of my binging comes from.
And let's be honest, anything in life where someone tells you that you can't, or you shouldn't do this, anything like that, whether you're telling yourself or someone else is telling you, it's like you start thinking about it more, right? So when you're restricting, like with me, if I'm trying to be super strict on my diet, also next thing you know, I'm thinking about pizza. And then I'm not only having one piece, I'm having three.
Right.
Like that's
Yeah.
where I struggle, where that's why I can't do the diet, because I get so thinking about all the stuff I can't have
Right.
that I start eating it all.
Right. Well, and I was talking about this to somebody the other day, and I even said it in your group the other day with the when I was talking about nutrition. I was saying when people think about healthy living and a lifestyle, they think about you cannot, like I was saying how I worked in the public and people would see me like randomly eat that bakery because that bakery item, because where I work there was bakery stuff, and they're like, you can't have that. And then I was like, the fuck, okay.
Yeah,
And
right.
that's, I feel like that's where people's, binging mentality comes from, because when you're trying to live a healthy lifestyle, you restrict yourself from certain things when we should just be learning how to add them in with moderation.
Right. So like two great points you addressed there, where one, when Kelly's talking about our group, we are actually doing a group together right now. It's called Happy Hormone Holidays, where we're just like talking all about how nutrition and hormones play together, along with like a lot of stuff with hormones.
Yeah.
And our topic for like next month is going to be cycle syncing.
Yeah.
So that's what the group she's talking about. But you bring up a great point that I feel that when people are on their journey, okay, so when you're making it known, like we are really in the public, right? We're making it
Yeah.
known, we are health coaches, we get a lot of pressure that
Right.
we can't have those sweets, or no, you can't have that piece of pizza because you're a health coach. No. Like that's not what it's about. It's
Right.
about the majority of the time, like picking and choosing, moderation, what you're gonna eat. Is it good to eat pizza all the time like I want to? No. But can I do it every once in a while? Most definitely.
Absolutely. And that's where people start binging, because you deprive yourself of certain foods. So then when you get them in front of you, it's like, oh my God, this is the last time I'm ever going to see this. So I have to consume as much as possible.
Another one of my like all-time binging habits is if I ruin, like say if like midday I eat something bad, I'm like, well, there it goes, there the day goes. And then next thing you know, I'm binge eating the rest of the day.
Yeah, you got to get it in before the day stops and you got to start over.
Exactly, which is a horrible mindset.
Horrible. Well, I just learned today, I was listening to a podcast, you guys, and it was talking about the brain and how it works, right? It works in mysterious ways. It's so crazy. And the brain actually, like when you feel guilt and shame from binging, it highlights the reward system in your brain. And then that's when you um, do the things that you say you didn't want to do, like binge on all that food, or as they gave as an example, like gambling and spending the money. Like once you binge um, and feel the emotions, it's like your brain just automatically highlights that reward system. And then that allows you to believe that if you keep binge eating, it's okay for the rest of the day or for whatever.
Right.
So it's
And
mindset.
right. And it's like when you bring up gambling, it does coincide where when you're so far in the hole, you're like, well, I might as well keep going at this point.
Right.
You know
And
what I
so
mean?
that's what they compared it to. And I'm thinking, like, while this lady was talking, I'm thinking, like, well, that has everything to do with binging. You know what I mean? Because once I start, I've already messed up for the day. So I'm going to continue. That's when the reward system kicks in my brain. And I'm like, well, I'm going to eat all these cookies. You guys, I have eaten like 35 cookies. I counted in one sitting, just because like once you start, you can't stop. Once the pop, I don't know, whatever that commercial is.
Yeah. And like, I noticed that when you do start binging, or like say, okay, so like say for instance, this past weekend I had a lot of it's like these cookies, they're healthier kind, but when you have so many of them, it doesn't count. But uh
Like my oat balls.
yeah, exactly. So I had a lot on Friday, right? And I was like, okay, well, we're gonna let it go because I'm all about food freedom,
Yeah.
not having food guilt. But then I noticed the next day I started to continue with that habit. And that's
Yes.
one thing, is that once it becomes a pattern or a habit, just like anything else, you're going to continue to do that. So that's where it comes into play, like having that better relationship with food and working on like, why are you binging? Like you said, like dig down deep. Why are
Yeah.
you
What's
binging?
your, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and a lot of times you think it's automatically going to fix, like you do it to fix the problem. So you think it's going to automatically fix that, or you think it's just going to help everything, and that's not the case, because then you feel guilty after, and it's just really the spiral, if, downhill week, whatever you have in front of you. It just, once you start, binging, it's just a downhill spiral.
Right. So, right now I'm reading the book Hunger for Happiness, which I've talked about a lot, but it's just because there's so many good pointers in there. And the one that she refers to when it comes to binging is, before you grab that cookie, before you decide to, really dive into like some type of food that you're like, I really don't need anymore, she talks about taking 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. And literally, if you're somewhere where you can write it down. But if you're like out somewhere, take 5 minutes and really think to yourself, one, why am I doing this? Two, do I need that? Do I need that, 5 pieces of pizza like I think? And just continue to think through it for 5 minutes. And then after that 5 minutes, if you still want it, okay. Like you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like you are, that's what you want. But a lot of times we think that we just pick it up and do it because it's like a comfort and we're avoiding something else.
Right.
So my
Like
sister
it's a
lives in,
quick fix.
it's a quick fix. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like
And
last night, it was like literally 9:30, which I never normally eat after 7. Like I try to cut it off there. It was like 9:30 and I so wanted a bowl of sugary cereal. Like, and I was literally about to do it. And then I literally did that process where I took a
yeah.
step back. One, drink a glass of water. Like that always helps, like, to remind, you drink water and you get rid of that like hunger feeling if that's what you're feeling.
Yeah.
Um, and then I literally wrote down like, okay, why do I want this? Do I need this? And what am I trying to avoid right now? Because a lot of times there's so much relationship with food that, you like, I was bored or something.
I was
And
just going to say boredom.
yeah. So then after I wrote all that down, I didn't need it. I didn't have
Yeah.
the want anymore because I realized like, okay, you don't, it's not that I need it. It's more that I wanted it. And it was really because I was just avoiding something else.
Right. Right. Absolutely. And, now that I'm definitely not as active in doing things like I used to when I'm home more, I notice that when I do binge, I'm doing it out of boredom. I'm someone who doesn't get full. Like I don't feel that fullness. So I know, right? This is all a mental game. And I know by the time I'm done binging, I'm still not going to feel full. So I always think to myself, okay, so before I consume the next 35 cookies, and what's the difference? Stopping after I'm done binging or stopping before I even binge? What is the difference? Because I'm never going to feel full. I'm still going to want more even after those 35 cookies. Like I don't get sick off of stuff. I can just continue. I don't know where it goes, people. Actually, I'm sitting on it. Yes, I do. But do you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's such a mindset game. And like you said, talking it out, asking yourself, writing things down, write that shit
Right.
down, people.
There's
Your
so much
why.
relation with food that we don't even realize it.
Yeah, because like, and that's my thing. Like, what's the difference in mindset after you binge and before you binge? For someone who
Right.
doesn't get full, I don't know. I mean, after
Right.
you
Right.
binge, you might feel full and you want to stop. But for someone who doesn't, I really have to talk to myself mentally and be like, okay, maybe that 40th cookie isn't for me, but why can't I say that before I binge it? You know what I mean?
Right.
I
So
really got to talk myself.
great point, because okay, one, if I binge, I feel so crappy. Like I
Yeah.
don't feel good, right? Like it
Right.
messes up my sleep. I don't feel good. My gut's out of whack.
Yeah.
So that's like my problem. It's like I really don't feel good after. But if you, as you said, what's the difference between before and after? Well, a huge thing is after we binge, it's too late, right?
Yeah. There's no
The
going
food's
back.
already down.
For the love of God, take me back.
And that is where we get like that, literally that comfort from food. And it's really about changing that relationship, which is
Yeah.
so hard, but it is possible.
It is changing the relationship because since we've done more of the food freedom, have you noticed less binging?
I I can't even tell you, not only have I done less
Because I
binging,
have.
I have done less binging, and I've noticed like I literally have been craving like healthier food.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not like, for instance, this morning I had a protein pancake because I wanted to just, I was needed to use this pumpkin
Finally,
spice,
right? Yeah,
right?
girl.
So I was like all about it. But then right before I ate it, I was like, man, I could have really just went for some eggs and veggies. And not that the protein pancake was bad, but I do add like extra stuff like maple syrup, chocolate chips, you know, like nothing
Right.
that's gonna make or break you.
Like
But
fish.
I
Yeah.
noticed, yeah, like I almost noticed, like, hey, I, have meditated today, I've journaled, and I just kind of want to give back to my body. And it's just weird when you do dig down into your relationship with food, because we use so much relationships with food. It's like crazy. Think about it. When you're happy, when you're celebrating, what do?
Food.
You got to eat. When you're sad, depressed, and sit on the couch with Ben and Jerry's, you
That's
know,
where the binging comes in.
right? So I feel like, we have spent our whole life with
Even
food
like
based off emotion.
celebrations,
Mm-hmm.
like
Is that sad?
celebrations, all
Yep.
of it.
Yep. Yep. When
It-
we have birthday, what's the first thing you think about a birthday party?
right. Yeah. Cake and candy. Candy.
Or Christmas. Give me some Thanksgiving.
So here's the thing with that though, because I know Christmas is coming and it's all about, like moderation, and I don't want to binge and I don't want a sugar crash and I know it's coming. I am mentally preparing myself for like to make healthier things, to have healthier things in my house to make so I don't have to just buy the store bought crap 24/7, which is fine. But when you do it every single day of the month of December, that's why I
Uh,
think everyone wants to restart come January 1st, because you're like, oh my
correct.
God, I feel terrible. But
Correct.
knowing that it's coming, just what I say to that is if you want to have the cookies, that's fine, but add an extra vegetable in your day and add a little extra whole foods into your month of December, knowing that you're going to have extra sugar,
Right. Right. Right.
because that might
Right.
help not binge so much.
Yeah. And like another thing is, you're going to enjoy the food with your family, right? So
Yes.
it's also getting through that food guilt and giving yourself grace and being like, okay, we're here and I'm going to enjoy this food because I love Thanksgiving dinner, whatever it may be, and you want to enjoy yourself. So as you said, put some more veggies on there. Also give yourself grace. And honestly, we should do that for our next week talk show.
Which what?
Like going through the holidays with like food guild,
Yes. Let's do it.
and then we can also like give out some recipes because I have a few
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's would be a good one because you're
Holidays are
right.
hard.
Yeah,
They're hard to get through.
they are.
And it's
Especially, I
fine
think
to
this
have.
year's going to be extra hard
Yeah. And a lot
because
of
we're,
people are going to be wanting to eat their emotions.
yep,
And that's where the binging is going to come. And then that's when January, you're not going to be able to fit in your clothes anymore. Then you're going to be getting a hold of Darcy and I, like,
right.
yo, help me. Yo,
Lady!
help us. But I mean, we can get through it together. And then we can also help so you learn a better relationship with food so you don't feel that you have to binge, because it's not going to be the last time you eat those, treats.
I think that's what happens is Christmas comes around and we're like, yeah, we're going to eat all this because January 1st, man, we're going to be on our A game. 2021, here we come.
Are we?
um So there's many like little tips that I have. One, I said like journaling. I know that sometimes you can't do that, but like sit back and think before you
Oh, they
start.
can on their phones.
That's true. Write it in your notes and literally say, why do I want this? Okay. Am I avoiding anything? Is there something else I should be doing? So that's like one tip I have. Another is always drink 12 ounces of water before you
First.
pursue it. And then also like what Kelly said, think about how you're gonna feel after. You know, what's your stopping point? Maybe plan that too before you start. Like, okay, I really want these cookies, like I really want it, but I'm only gonna have 4 instead of 35.
There's no point.
There's no point. Exactly.
But I am going to, like, I will be making the cookies, but I'm really going to try to make homemade cookies with better ingredients rather than having to get and that's holidays do this, you guys. And I'm not saying it's not fine. It's fine to have treats. It's fine. But these companies are out there to get us to buy all their crap. So just keep that in mind too, right? This is all about making money, all the stores for Christmas and all the things. So they're going to do this to brainwash you. But, like I'm going to grab those red and green M&Ms and I'm going to make something homemade with them, but then I'll add in the Christmas stuff to them too.
So next week we will follow up with that. I think that would be a great thing as we go into Thanksgiving week because it's already approaching us. And we can also literally give some recipes out. Especially with guys' emails, we can send you guys a whole bunch of lists of things we do.
Absolutely.
And we're always here for suggestions too. Like, what do you want to hear from us? Is there something you want us to talk more about? Binge eating for us hits really really home, and it's also something like we are working more on learning about, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. The more we get the food freedom and the more we work on our mindset, I feel like that's where the binging will get easier.
Right.
And it has for us.
Yeah.
We've tested that theory.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have any additional tips on binging?
Yeah. So another thing I was thinking about, like, a lot of people, you're bored, you're sitting on the couch, you're not moving a lot. So you're like, I want to binge, I want to eat all the crap. Get up and move your body. Take a walk.
Yep.
If it's walk to your bathroom and then sit your bag down, do it. Because what I was thinking is like, I'll get up and start stretching if I'm bored rather than going to my cupboard and shoving all the crackers down my throat.
Right. Yes, for sure. Yep. Yeah, no, that's definitely a good one. And when you do release those endorphins, you'll notice that you don't feel like you need that food as much.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. And like you said, you'll start craving the stuff your body's supposed to crave anyway.
Right. Your body is your biggest asset, your biggest tool. So it's good to like really tone in, listen to it, and get through the points of, is it like mentally that I want to eat that pizza? You know what I mean? Like, I'm using pizza just because that's my weakness. If you guys
love pizza so much.
Gosh, I love pizza.
And so when I have pizza, because I used to tell myself this is like, oh, I can't have pizza, I would eat 5 slices or more.
Yeah. I used to say, well, this is my cheat night, so I'm going to have about 5 pieces of pizza. And tomorrow when I don't feel good and can't move, I wonder why.
I know.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's all I have on binging. We'll follow up next week.
That's a wrap, people.
That's a wrap. And as always, drop a comment below, share this with your friends, and we really appreciate anybody who subscribes to us, and join our Facebook group as well.
Yeah, absolutely, you guys. And any questions, like Darcy said, just email one of us, get a hold of us on our Instagram or Facebook.